25,000 years ago, the world was a frozen cathedral of ice and wind. Across the mammoth steppe, a gray shape moves between the shadows of the pines. It stops. A fire flickers in the distance. Around it, upright figures huddle against the cold. The wolf does not flee, it watches. You think we tamed them. You think a hunter found a wolf pup and brought it home. That is not what happened. The wolf came to us. It came for the warmth. It came for the bones. And in doing so, it stepped onto a path that would change its body, its brain, and its entire future. Biologist Raymond Coppinger identified the mechanism. He called it flight distance. A wild wolf bolts when a human stands 300 feet away. But not every wolf is the same. Some are wired differently. Their internal alarm is quieter. They let you approach to 200 feet before they run. Those wolves that could tolerate a human at 100 feet got the bones. The ones that fled at 300 feet got nothing. Generation after generation, the algorithm ran. The boldest wolves ate. The boldest wolves bred. The boldest wolves passed on whatever quiet genetic whisper told them not to run. Flight distance. It was the entire game. A wolf that fled at 300 feet starved. A wolf that held its ground at 100 feet lived. Living meant breeding. Breeding meant amplifying that one trait over and over for thousands of years. The wolf was not choosing to become a dog. It was being sorted by a relentless, accidental filter. The garbage dump was the laboratory. The food was the selection pressure. The result was a creature that no longer saw a human and ran. 1914. A quarry at Bonn-Oberkassel, Germany. Archaeologists uncover the bones of a puppy. Dating reveals its age. 14,200 years ago. Someone buried it alongside two adult humans. Veterinarian and archaeologist Luke Janssens examined the teeth decades later. He found the unmistakable signature of canine distemper, a lethal virus. The puppy had suffered for weeks. It could not hunt. It could not guard. It could not walk. Someone fed it anyway. Someone cleaned it. Someone kept it warm. For no reason but compassion. This was not a working animal. This was a patient. The bond was already emotional, already deep, already love. The algorithm was over. The dog had arrived. The partnership was real. Geneticists at Oxford, archaeologists in Germany, the DNA in the bones, the isotopes in the teeth, they all tell the same converging story. The bond was not a late invention of farmers with grain surpluses. Hunters forged it in the frozen darkness of the Ice Age. They needed nothing from a sick wolf cub except its presence. They fed it fish. The chemical signature in the Pınarbaşı dog from Turkey reveals this. A site dated to 15,800 years ago. Humans were catching fish and sharing them. By 14,000 years ago, the dog was no longer a scavenger on the fringe. It had moved inside the circle of firelight. Its role changed from tolerated shadow to essential partner. The keen senses that made the wolf a fearsome predator now made the dog an unparalleled early warning system. Nothing could approach a sleeping camp without the dogs erupting in alarm. This was the great mutualism. Humans provided food scraps and the safety of the fire. Dogs provided vigilance, warmth on frozen nights, and eventually something even more valuable. They helped us hunt. This was just the beginning. The real journey was about to span a planet. By 14,000 years ago, the dog was no longer confined to one valley or one steppe. Its fate was lashed to ours, and we were moving. The archaeological and genetic record shows dogs dispersing with hunter-gatherer bands across the Eurasian continent, from the edge of the Atlantic to the shores of the Pacific. A jawbone found in Gough's Cave in England carries a genetic signature, dated to 14,300 years ago. The same signature appears in a dog buried in Turkey 15,800 years ago. The partnership was not a local experiment. It was a continent-wide phenomenon. But guarding a camp is one thing. Running down a mammoth is another. The dog did not stay in the firelight for long. Its senses were too sharp, its loyalty too fierce. It could not remain a passive observer of the human hunt. Anthropologist Pat Shipman has argued something radical. The alliance between humans and dogs was so powerful it may have helped drive Neanderthals to extinction. The partnership rewrote the rules of the Ice Age. Two hyper-predators, now working as one, simply outcompeted everything else on the landscape. The dog did not just guard the camp. It helped build the world. Dogs evolved a new muscle. The levator anguli oculi medialis. It lifts the inner eyebrow. This makes the eye look larger, more infant-like. Wolves do not have this muscle. Your dog evolved it specifically to communicate with you. It is a biological tool of emotional manipulation, honed by thousands of years of co-evolution. The dog at your feet is not just a tamed predator. It is a mirror of your own evolutionary history, a creature that changed its body to fit into the landscape of your heart.